My first time that I was bit by the theater bug was when I was in middle school and I was attending a performance of Pirates of Penzance. It was actually a school trip with my drama club. We got there and that was really the biggest moment for me that I can remember as far as significance in when I fell in love with theater, because I was so into the show and the actors and the singers were just so into what they were doing that they drew me in, and it was impossible for me to not want to jump on the stage and be right there with them. After receiving my first degree in French, I decided that I somehow wanted to incorporate my two passions together in my career, whatever that may be in the future. I'm currently at the point in my life where I'm applying for grad schools, and my future goals are to either become a professor in French using my theater skills, or becoming an international businesswoman.
La lune trop blême pose un diadème sur tes cheveux roux. La lune trop rousse de gloire éclabousse ton jupon pleine roue.
Thanks and au revoir.
Ever since I was a kid, I loved to make my family laugh, and so when I got older, I knew that was something I always wanted to get into.
I would have destroyed myself for this woman. Gladly. I would have eaten garbage. I would have sliced my wrists open under the right circumstances. I mean, if she said, "Hey Phil, why don't you just cut your wrists open?" Well, come on. But if seriously.
One of my role models was Andy Kaufman, and I really admired the way that he put a lot of his heart into it, and he never did anything that was just mediocre.
No one should ever need another person that badly. Nobody should ever. What is that? Is that something you saw on TV? I dump my heart on the table. You give me Joyce Dr. Brothers?
As you're going along, you kind of don't realize everything you've done, and it was nice to take a step back and look into the past and realize where you came from. I really liked that feeling of having sort of that power and the ability to make people feel emotions. I really hope that part of my future is connected with this Detroit art scene that most people out of town think is non-existent, but it's thriving so well. And I think that's part of the reason why, is because the city's such a blank canvas and there's so many opportunities, and I'm excited to be a part of the scene. I think it's growing more and more every day.
I'd always had a dramatic spark in me. It started way back when I was little, and my best friend and I would put on homemade circuses in her backyard with her play set, and it grew from there. We had done homemade fashion shows, and then I went on to things such as dance, and I was captain of the cheerleading squad in middle school. But once I got to high school, I was really the academic band geek. Band was my life.
I don't know where to start, Luann. There's just so much damned ugliness. And she's so little. So many years ahead of her. I'm just not up for the job, Luann.
So when I finally got to Wayne State, it was really nice to be able to work within the artistic realm of theater. I was cast in Christmas Carol, and I met Kyle Holton, and he really did relight that spark in me and reminded me how much I loved theater. A few short months after Christmas Carol closed, I was fortunate enough to be able to go over to London on a study abroad, and while there I visited Westminster Abbey, which is a beautiful historical church. It was amazing, and that's exactly when I realized what I wanted to do with my art. This one church had brought together politics and history and art all in one place beautifully. And I decided right then and there that I wanted to do that with my art. I wanted to take all aspects of life and show people in an awe-inspiring way that everything can come into harmony if you have a passion and honestly stick to it with everything you've got.
Another great thing that I think theater has done for me is it's allowed me to get outside of the world that I knew. And for me, that was going over to Sydney, Australia. That experience was eye-opening because it showed me that there was so much out there that I didn't know, And not only that, you learn about yourself when you're in another environment, when you're in an environment that you're not familiar with. You learn about what you can handle, what you can do. You know, you learn all your best assets and all your worst assets as well. Being in that environment was like, so, it was special and it was real. It was something that I don't think I'll ever forget for as long as I live. And it's one of those things where I aspire to go back. So that just makes me work that much harder.
Then what you want to do? You sound like Martha, always second guessing what I'm doing with my boy. Look, if Lummy want to play ball, that's what Lummy want to do. It ain't my fault that I done already done it.
The future for me is something that I have a strong focus on, because I would like to do the Broadway thing. I would like to do the film thing and the television thing. That's something that I feel like I could do, and if I just work hard enough and if I just push for it, then I can do that. And also in the near future, or in the later future rather, I would also like to work with kids and really show them what I was shown, really teach them what I was taught, and really show them a world outside of the world that they're living in.
Go out and tell our story, let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you, make them hear you. How justice was our battle, and how justice was denied. Make them hear you, make them hear you.
Estimado público, yo soy Dorotea Salazar Dunn y les voy a hablar de lo que hago en la Universidad de Wayne State. I am the last of 7 children. As I was growing up, no one ever really listened to me, but I found my voice. I just want you to know that at my age, there's never a time when you have to quit. You can always continue to learn, continue to do that which is within you. And within me, it's acting.
Makeup, we can make you unforgettable. You know, you could be famous, Maggie.
How many other celebrities are buried here? What keeps me going is that I see so many of people, friends, very close friends, my age, and some of them maybe not quite as old as I, that have given up. They sit home and they talk about their pains and their aches, and many of them die without even having experienced that which they really could have done. I'm not ready to go yet. It'll be a long while. And while I'm here, I'm going to do what's going to keep me going. I'm learning to dance flamenco, and I am going to die, probably either dancing flamenco, but acting and knowing that I have lived a good life. My name is Grace Stiles. I'm 90 years old, and I've just been told I've got cancer. That's something. I've survived my husband. He's a little older. And I've survived 5 sons. But I still have one more thing to take care of. I've been fortunate. I have a grandson. My aha moment was when I did the play Grace and Glory, because I started off singing a spiritual, and as I did this, I could hear the audience go, oh my, and I knew I had reached the audience. And suddenly, from there on out, I was not an actor on that stage. I really was Grace.